Tornadoes can happen anytime, anywhere, regardless of where you live. It is a storm that is not geographically unique like a hurricane. Since tornadoes can spawn just from a thunderstorm with the right weather combinations, everyone needs to be ready. Many people remember the deadly tornado outbreak on May 3rd, 1999 in Oklahoma. This day launched a string of deadly tornadoes that were unexpected for the day and culminated with an F5 tornado ravaging the Oklahoma City metro area, claiming at least 35 lives. You may think that you are in the clear since you don't live in the southern plains. It's not true at all, because this year alone, there were tornadoes reported in the Dakotas, Mississippi, and warnings issued in Florida. This shows us that tornadoes can happen anywhere and preparation is vital. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to identify a tornado shelter, building an emergency kit, and who to contact in case of a tornado. Since tornadoes are not geographically separated, you just need the correct weather conditions, which can happen anywhere, which is why it's important to identify a shelter. Actual tornado shelters exist more commonly in the Southern Plains area. They're an actual box that holds about 6 people, usually put on your front porch underground or in your garage underground. They're very common, especially in the Oklahoma, Texas area. These work out great, but not everyone has those. So you need to know how to identify a shelter if you don't have one. You're looking for anything that is interior of your house, basically not touching any walls. There's no windows in there. Bathrooms and closets seem to be the most highly recommended. In my house, it's the master bathroom because it's the only room that has no exterior walls. There's also specially designed safe rooms that are more common in newer houses. They're an all cement room where instead of walls, it's pure cement poured in there. And they've tested it down in Texas, and they can withstand over 200-mile-an-hour flying debris. If you have a new house you're building, might be a good way to go. Bottom line is knowing the safest location in your house. Maybe all your rooms touch exterior walls. You want to find a hallway, anywhere that is away from flying debris, glass, and cover yourself with a mattress, pillows. You want to put as many layers between you and the storm. Wherever your shelter is, you need to have emergency kits. Once again, the American Red Cross recommends having food and non-perishable items in there for at least 24 hours, because especially if you have a tornado shelter or a basement, you might be in there for a little bit if a tornado comes through and you have to wait for rescue help. Food and water are vital. You also want to have things like candles, batteries, flashlights, pretty much anything you can think of to be able to get through the storm. Make sure you do annual checks on all that. It would just be horrible and you actually have to use your safe room and all your batteries are dead, your food's expired, your water's expired. So it's important to make sure you check your stuff annually. In our house, we do it every February into March in that time frame because that's right before the major tornado season. So make sure it's all in a single location so anyone can find it. You also want to make sure your weather radios work, and this is going to be a very important piece to your survival. Make sure the batteries are charged. If it's rechargeable, make sure you have fresh batteries in there every year, and make sure that it works. You want to test. A lot of them have sirens on them, so you can test that, and just make sure that that's going to wake you up or communicate. They're annoying, yes, but they're going to save your life. Now, hopefully we never have to experience this, but what if a tornado does come through? Who do you need to contact? Well, if you have an actual storm shelter, a lot of cities will want you to register it with their emergency management personnel. This way, if a tornado comes through your neighborhood, they are able to come through your neighborhood, know, all right, you have a tornado shelter, and they know how to get into it. There's also calling the American Red Cross. They have both a website and a 1-800 number that will allow you to call in and say, hey, I'm safe, so then your family's not worrying. Because obviously if a tornado comes through, phone lines are going to go down, cell phone towers are going to go down, and you're going to be pinned for communication. Finally, you want to tell your friends and family where your shelter is. In case, like for us, we don't have a tornado shelter, so we don't register with the city, but all of our neighbors know we go to our bathroom. So if a tornado comes through, they know exactly the first place to look. That's going to be key to surviving and taking care of yourself. Remember, it's better to be prepared for the worst and have nothing happen than to be caught with your guard down. Tornadoes can change a person's life in a matter of seconds. People have seen their houses completely destroyed in less than 1 minute. Being prepared for the storm will help everyone be safe. This is why today we've talked about identifying a shelter, establishing emergency kits, and knowing who to contact in case of emergency. For a final thought, remember a house and all of its belongings can be replaced over time. Lives cannot.